An Olympic gold medal that wasn't theirs was recently awarded by the judges. Three-time world champions Madison Chock and Evan Bates fell behind by a margin of 1.43. They got silver, while France got gold. Chock and Bates were almost perfect, but the French team made obvious errors, which is what makes this so odd. However, France received a better score from the judges. This is illegal. A French judge awarded his own nation a score that was almost 8 points higher than the Americans. 8 points for music. One judge generated an 8-point edge that changed the outcome of a sport where points were determined by fractions of a point. In reality, 5 out of 9 judges preferred Chock and Bates. The scales were swayed by that one huge prejudice, even though most people believed the Americans had triumphed. A petition calling for a probe has already amassed thousands of signatures on change.org. All of this took place on Wednesday evening, February 11, 2026. Chock and Bates take the ice first. Apply a black paint job from Westworld. Choreography that is Flamco-inspired, dark, dramatic, and strong. The audience begins to applaud. Every motion was coordinated. 15 years of collaboration are on exhibit. The twizzles are spotless. The elevators move well. They are giving it their all in this, their last Olympic performance. They are done. Evan Bates's eyes are watering. On NBC, Johnny Weir says it just right. One flawless night after 15 years of practice and planning. They skate off in weight with a standing ovation, setting a season-best score of 134.6767. Gold is dependent on France, but silver is certain. Baudry, Guillaume-Césaron, Lawrence, and Fournier tackle the ice. Vogue by Madonna. Then it occurs. A noticeable bobble is the twizzle sequence. Several individuals were able to catch it. After participating in the same event, Marco Fabbri, an Italian skater, said, "I usually prefer Guillaume and Lawrence. However, I didn't think they skated very well today." The judges don't give a damn. France prevails. It came to 225.82. The final score for the United States was 224.39. 1.43 was the difference. Stone-faced, Chock and Bates stand there. Their Olympic aspirations just vanished. Because one judge chose to provide his nation with a gift, not because they weren't good enough. So, how did a French routine with a few obvious errors defeat an otherwise flawless American performance? In 2024, Madison Chock and Evan Bates tied the knot. Since 2011, they have been skating together. In 2023, in 2024 and 2025, they won 3 world titles in a row. For 3 years, they were undefeated on the global stage. They participated in 4 Olympics together. Evan participated in his 5th Olympics overall. Amber Glenn, one of their teammates, refers to them as Mr. and Mrs. America. At these games, they had previously won team gold. Everyone realized that this was their last chance, since this particular gold was the last item lacking. The rhythm dance on Monday night has already sparked debate. Although Chock and Bates received 89.72, they had performed the identical routine for 91.06 in the team event, which is almost a point and a half higher. They skated even better than in the team event, according to Evan Bates' post-race remarks. The judges couldn't agree. Francis Baudry and Césaron received 90.18, which placed them 46 points ahead, heading into Wednesday. On NBC, Scott Hamilton expressed his surprise and claimed he did not anticipate that one. It was during Wednesday's free skate when the actual incident occurred. The scorecard of the French judges was a huge anomaly. France's score was over 8 points higher than America's. Chock and Bates received their lowest points of the evening from the Spanish judge. Why does that matter? The Spanish squad practices at the same location as France, the Ice Academy of Montreal. Patrice Loos, Roman Haguenau, and Marie-France Dubré are their coaches. Immediately, there were accusations of purposeful lowballing. Weighted averages are used for ice dance scoring, and the French judges' one huge outlier swung the scales in favor of the Americans by 1.43, despite the fact that 5 of the 9 judges supported them. And this is the background that raises suspicions. Baudry and Césaron were only together for a year in 2025. Both have contentious pasts. Due to accusations of sexual abuse, Baudry's former partner was barred for 6 years. In a book, Cizon's ex-partner accused him of being domineering and cunning. They are going up against 3 world crowns and a 15-year alliance. Both teams use the same coaches and practice at the same location. Chock and Bates are now required to observe the gold medal winning squad at practice every day. And this is what seems wrong about the whole thing. The response came instantly. Social media took off. Robberies were popular all across the globe. Thousands of people signed the change.org petition calling for a probe in a matter of hours. There was fierce competition among the skaters. People all throughout the globe referred to it as thievery. The Athletics' Lucas Wistling didn't mince words. I thought Chock and Bates had better emotion and performance quality. The audience concurred. The judges had a different perspective. The Italian ice dancer Marco Fabbri made the statement in public. Guillaume and Lawrence are generally my favorites, but they didn't skate as well today, in my view. A contestant in the same event raising doubts about the outcome. That doesn't occur until there is a clear problem. During the broadcast, Scott Hamilton was taken aback. Even the former Olympic gold medalist couldn't conceal his astonishment. And Madison Chock and Evan Bates managed it all with poise. They stood on that podium stone-faced, watching France get gold inches away. Sometimes that's just how it shakes out, Madison said afterwards. It's a subjective sport, Evan said. Even though it's a judging sport, we gave it our all. We gave it our all while skating. Quiet acceptance, without animosity or accusations. Madison gave a sorrowful shake of her head when asked whether she would return. Not right now, Evan responded. They had their last Olympic moment snatched. The larger issue, however, is this. There have been nationalist judging controversies in the history of figure skating. This was obvious. Gold and silver were separated by 1.43 points. His nation received almost 8 points more than the Americans, according to one judge. Compute, Chock and Bates prevail when such prejudice is absent. Do you recall Salt Lake City from 2002? Yeah, Olympic judging was radically altered by the pair's skating incident. A French judge said that she felt under pressure to support Russia. As a result, the sport had to completely redesign its scoring system. To avoid precisely what had recently occurred in Milan, they established new transparency regulations, anonymous judgment, and random selection. Will this be dismissed, or will the International Skating Union look into it? The favorites are 3-time world champions who have been partners for 15 years. One year, they lost against a team that skated almost perfectly. The decision was made by a single judge, not because they weren't competent enough. This was their time, their last Olympics, the ideal capstone to an illustrious career. They chose to watch someone else fulfill their goal instead, due to the events at the judges' table rather than what transpired on the ice. Do you believe the judges were cheated? Bates and Chock? To keep up with the most recent Olympic news, subscribe and leave your opinions in the comments section below. See you at the next one.